back to fundamentals today. We used to talk about identity a lot, and I think for a long time we just we didn't forget about it, but we didn't treat it as the level of value that it actually is. And honestly, one of the things that might be holding you back or propelling you forward more than anything else is your identity.
In high school, I was the nerd or the quote-unquote smart kid, so I did whatever I could to leverage that identity, stay in that identity, prove myself in that identity. Kevin was the athlete, and he did the same.
Next Level Nation, today for episode number 2097, is your identity holding you back? Real quick, apologies that yesterday's episode did not drop on time. That was on me. Google Drive is out here messing up my life. I swear to you, I uploaded the episodes. For some reason, they didn't get uploaded. Team messaged me this morning. A bunch of people messaged me on social media. Hey,
Nice.
Where's the episode you guys missed? No, we did not miss. It will be late, or it was late, but we did the episode, I promise.
One of my clients, shout out to you, Cole, he said, he reached out and said, hey, just so you know.
Yeah, Cole reached out to me as well.
Talk about accountability. I love it.
Well, it's beautiful. I appreciate it. But yes, I promise we didn't miss. The episode just didn't get uploaded to G Drive for some reason.
Real quick.
For the team. Yes.
I know that you have a story about why we're doing this episode.
I do.
One of the things that came up for me when we were planning on doing this episode was, at one point, you believed you were a loser.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And we can laugh about it now, because you're not. Kev, playfully behind the scenes, when I first logged on, he said, I need you to humble me a little bit because we're getting some big W's, clients, all this kind of stuff. Question for you, what is it like to shift from that identity of I thought I was going to be an unsuccessful loser, gas station attendant, townie, to now I'm getting more clients than I can handle?
I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think I have. And I think that's the reason I'm quote unquote winning, because I still have the same, it's not an internal identity that I have, but I still kind of treat it the same. There was a question in Next Level Nation. I don't remember the exact question, but it was something along the lines of how do you talk to yourself when things are going really well or things are going terribly, whatever it was. And I said, right now we have a ton of momentum, but I have to remind myself that it does not take that much for that momentum to stop.
Oh yeah, it'll go down faster than it went up.
The second you take, cool, you're watering a plant, you plant a seed, and that seed, it's really hard for it to break through the seed and then to blossom. And okay, you're watering it and you're putting sun on it, you're watering it, boom, boom, boom. And then it's just crushing. Biggest plant it's ever been. You stop taking care of that thing, it's going to die. It's going to die. So that's kind of how I'm trying to think of it.
Love it. I want to share this because I want our listeners to come with us on this journey. I don't want to, we're strivers, not arrivers. And Kevin and I have had some really big ups and downs on this business journey. And we're talking about success here. So success journey. And Kevin has bombed and lost some very large clients. Mm-hmm. And
several.
Yeah, several. And lately, a client literally verbatim, keep it anonymous, said, we'd like you to do this for us. We're going to give you an extra $1,000 a month. And is that enough? We want to make sure we're paying you enough. Is that going to be enough? And to have a client wanting to pay you more, having spent years basically being rejected, it's a very different game. So I just wanted to ask you what that's like on the other side of...
I think that's an important piece of the identity is I'm trying to earn it all. And the identity of I need to remain humble in success as much as I remain hungry when I'm not successful. I think that's just super important. I think that's why a lot of us end up losing later on, because it would be really easy as things get better and lifestyle improves, it's really easy to adopt the identity of I am somebody who has a really good lifestyle. And then you start acting like that. As abundance improves, it's really easy to allow that to attach to your identity as I am the type of person who is abundant. Yes, and the reason you got abundance is because you played scarce. And that's a really hard duality to hold at the same time. The reason this episode even came up is our last session that we did for group coaching, we were talking about business. And Alan was doing his thing. Beardness. Alan was doing his thing, and I said, hey, can I interrupt you really quick? I just want to ask a question. I haven't seen the presentation. I don't know if you're going to ask this question.
Absolutely not.
On a scale of 0 to 10, for all of you in here, how much do you identify as a business owner? Because if we're talking about turning your podcast into a business and you do not identify at all as a business owner, one, you might say, this isn't for me. You might not retain the information. You might sabotage yourself. That is dictating so much of the potential success.
You might not retain the information. That's such a good point.
Because it doesn't apply to you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters out things, is going to say, oh, not for me. He's not talking to me, so I might as well not have to learn this.
Yeah, I can tune out. You ever seen like a thing like if you had a cell phone from the year 2007 to 2014, you might be due $15,000. It's literally just saying, if you are this type of person, then this is for you. If you're not, you politely do your thing.
Yeah, the ultimate filtration system is your name. When I say Kevin, he's like, I should listen.
Yes.
Especially if you say it in a certain tone like his mother did. What did she say when she really
Kevin Edward.
Kevin Edward.
Kevin Edward. Yeah, that's how you knew.
Little side thing that came up for me. I was on a podcast yesterday from a man from Nigeria, and he asked me, he said something along the lines of, what is something that is misunderstood about you? And I'll tie this to identity. I said, it's really weird for me at this stage in my life to be seen as a silver spooner. Because when people first meet me, I've got the awards in the background, I've got the nice camera, my hair is done, I have this nice, collared shirt, and we're perceived as very successful now, which is much better than the alternative. And we are. But I said, I look like someone who started on third base, and I couldn't even see the ballpark. And it's very weird for people to presuppose that you had everything handed to you when you kind of lost everything growing up. And I said, but the truth of the matter is I'm always looking at some advantages. I had some advantages, really big ones. I was born in a country that had no child left behind, equal opportunity. I got to go to college, financial aid and scholarships. I was born in the largest economy on planet Earth, the United States, right? Free country, capitalism. And I also feel gifted, even though you're not allowed to say that. I do feel gifted in terms of my intelligence. Mm. And so take those three away, and things would not have worked out for me. I can promise you that. Almost didn't anyway.
That's fair.
But the identity piece here, what do you believe about yourself? And all I've come to really care about is, number one, your potential. But I don't think anyone can reach their potential unless they're accurate in their identity. So I used to say I'm bad at English, I'm good at math. Neither one, math was true. I wasn't actually bad at English. I thought that I was, just because I wasn't as good at math. And I also went to special reading class in third grade. They had to take me out of the classroom to help teach me how to read. And apparently that was because my older sister would answer every question, so I didn't learn how to speak right away or something. Maybe I was a little kid just calculating shit, right? Mm. But ultimately, these identities are horseshit. They're not, especially the ones you get from the outside. So the feedback that you get from other people is almost never the whole truth. How do I explain this? What you say, think, do, feel, and believe determines your identity. What you believe about yourself dictates what you say, think, do, and feel and believe. So it's a feedback loop. So what's a good example? Hello, NLU listener. Thank you, as always, for listening to Next Level University. Real quick, I just want to jump in and let you know about the Next Level Dreamliner. This is a journal that I use every single day. Achieve your dreams 90 days at a time. It breaks down your dreams into goals, milestones, and daily habits. We hope you enjoy it. The link will be in the show notes. Okay, I'll give you an example. I have a client who went on a date, and the guy was kind of treating her like shit. Kind of treating her like she's not of value. Mm. And I said two things are going to happen, three things, but we'll use two for the point of this. Every time you go, this person's a very high value woman. Every time you go on a date, the man is either going to treat you like you ain't shit so that you don't know your value so he can hoodwink you, or he's going to like overly inflate and like say, oh my God, to try to also influence you. Usually we all overdo it or underdo it when we're triggered and when we're around someone who is of value. And that's actually really sucky. And I'm by no means famous, so don't take this the wrong way, but I do understand now what famous people used to say about how I wish people could just be regular around me. Because when you become someone of value or whatever, and I used to be sort of prepubescent, small, overlooked, insignificant. Now it's very different when I walk in a room, and I'm grateful for that. But everyone inflates or deflates. Very few people can stay centered in that, and there's energy and power and all this kind of stuff, and influence, leadership. But ultimately, the point that I'm making is this person, if she was going off of external feedback to determine her truth, am I attractive or am I not? Am I smart or am I not? Am I athletic or am I not? It all depends on what you're comparing to. And none of us have all the data. So you don't know where you fall on the bell curve. You thought you weren't smart. Now I know you don't think that anymore. Right? And so none of us are accurate about ourselves. And I hope that is what people take away.
I think that's a really good intention for the takeaway for sure. And I think this is why action is so important, because I don't know. Yeah, you can work on rebuilding your identity internally and mindset. That's a big piece of it, right? But I think the best way to rebuild your identity or build your identity in the direction you want it to go is action. Because somebody asked me the other day, they said, why is consistency so important? And I get asked that question a lot, but it was from a different place. And I said, because eventually you start to identify as your habits. If you smoke cigarettes, you identify as a smoker. Eventually.
I've ripped a few darts myself when I was drinking, and I did not identify as a smoker.
I didn't realize that cloves were darts, so I've ripped a few darts in my day as well back in the day.
Cloves?
I don't know.
You weren't cool if you didn't have a clove.
Yeah, I don't understand what was the appeal.
Yeah, it was dumb.
For a summer, I just decided to smoke cloves.
Yeah, it was big in our small town.
Yeah, it was weird.
Little cloves.
But if you say, somebody asked me recently, they're like, hey, you smoke? You smoke weed? I said, no, I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke weed. I like edibles. Edibles are nice, but no, I'm not a smoker. Boom. Somebody asked the other day about drinking. I said, I'm not a big drinker. I like a whiskey every once in a while, but like I'm talking maybe once a month. I maybe drink once a month. Occasionally, the kid I'll go off the rails once in a while. I'm good for one, but no,
I'm not a big drinker. Just 12 twisted teas every now and then.
Every now and then. But I'm not a big drinker. For a long time, my identity was I'm not somebody who can save money. Now, my identity is I stopped and I got a coffee today. And I was
how dare you?
Should I do it? Well, I could order energy drinks online. Well, that would be like $2 per, and this is going to be like $5. I'm wasting $3. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do it today. Let me treat myself a little bit. But even that dialogue, I never had that before.
What was it before?
Coffee. Yes.
That's a coffee.
I'm driving by. I might as well swing in. I mean, I'm already on my way.
But Dunks or Starbucks. Remember, that's an identity thing too.
That's an identity thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dunkin' Donuts is for hardworking, blue collar. And again, this is what they want you to think. I'm not saying this is the way it is.
They have been slowly programming you.
Starbucks is white collar.
America runs on what? Dunkin', baby. Of course.
And it's like a...
What's Starbucks' slogan? I don't even know. Starbucks. I
don't know if they have one.
Overpriced coffee for everyone.
Yeah, we're too good for you.
We're too good for you. Unless you spend $9 on our coffee.
That's all identity. And I think if you feel stuck in some way, shape, or form, what do you got?
You first. I got a story. It's totally relevant.
We got 5 minutes. I got a podcast pre-call. If you feel stuck in any way, shape, or form, I would check in on what pieces of your identity are keeping you stuck, because that is where you can start easily.
I've never told this story before.
Oh boy.
It's about identity and branding and all that kind of stuff. And that's what branding is, by the way, everybody. Identity. If you identify as someone who's creative, you most likely have Apple instead of Microsoft. If you're an engineer, it's mostly Microsoft. Okay, so at the end of the day, just like Next Level, your identity. Are you next level? Next level you? Next level pun intended, next level you, the next level matters more than the current level. Your future is brighter than your past. Like these are belief systems, right? Mm-hmm. So anyways, I don't know why, but somehow, some way, I think my grandma, my mom and papa got Emilia and I a Starbucks gift card for $25 for Christmas. This was like a couple of years ago. And we went, remember we did indoor skydiving? It was whatever. It was kind of cool, I guess. But
giant waste of money. Yeah, it's drastically.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's
great.
A lot of money.
It wasn't great. I never even posted anything about it. It doesn't matter. I have the video. More challenging than you'd think, though, for sure. Yeah. Anyways, we went to Starbucks, bookstore. I would love it. Bookstore, Starbucks, little coffee date. And I don't normally go into Starbucks, but Barnes and Noble has them in there. Not allowed to use the gift card. Go across the street. Boom. $25. I came out with nothing.
Yeah, you get very little.
You get no. I remember thinking $25. We got to buy some shit. We had 3 items.
That's expensive.
Yeah, it was terrible. I had like a little Sammy.
You know how much this coffee
brownie,
cost?
Dude, I don't know.
This was $5.64. Large iced coffee. Nothing special.
I go into Starbucks. I'm like, shit. We got to spend some money. We got $25. Right? We gotta get some stuff. We had no food. I couldn't even get a lunch. You know,
I believe it.
It was brutal. Yeah,
it's expensive.
I don't frequent Starbucks. For anyone who frequents Starbucks, that's obvious to you. For me, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What are the margins on this thing?
I do like it. The
food is at least reasonable, and
their coffee is better for sure. At least for me, I enjoy it. This is a smaller. where I get it from is a smaller place, but it's $5. You want to get like a latte?
You're paying per bean.
I know. I know. You want to get a latte? It's like $6, but that's.
Yeah.
My identity used to be whatever. I got the money, no biggie. That's not the identity anymore, and that's a really powerful shift. And again, identity shift usually leads to different results, which creates an opportunity to lock the identity in or abandon it, depending. And it's. We don't talk about identity much, and I guess in a way we always do, but we don't specifically talk about it. But it might be one of the most important things to work on forever. Yeah. It never stops. You never stop working on it.
Other than self-belief, one of the most important.
I would say
so. Last thing, I know you got to jump.
Yes, I do.
What do you identify as? Do you identify as an athlete? I remember I asked Kev if he identifies as an achiever, and he said no. I said, well, it's going to be harder to achieve if you don't identify as an achiever.
Makes sense.
And so what you believe about you, don't let the world dictate that. Don't let other people put you in a box. Choose the identity that you want to hold, because identity leads to what you say, think, do, feel, and believe. And what you say, think, do, feel, and believe refeeds back into your identity. Every action you take is a vote for the identity you want to hold. And also be careful of delusion too. Because if I know some people that are really not attractive that think they're amazing and super attractive, and I know some people who are really attractive who think they're not, they're ugly as hell. And neither one is effective, because you're basically, you're making decisions based on false data.
Boom. All right. Next Level Nation. If you want to level up your identity and make sure it's not holding you back, and you want to be somebody who identifies as more consistent, we have the Next Level Dreamliner. 5 minutes a day. You can do your journaling. You can write your most important win, most important improvement, top 3 gratitudes. What are you going to get done today? All of that happy jazz. It's on Amazon. We'll have the link in the show notes, but a really easy way to practice consistency and feel more consistent in your identity.
Book club every Saturday. We have a new book in Next Level Nation. The link to Next Level Nation will be in the show notes. In Next Level Nation, there's a poll that is pinned to the top. We have 3 different books on there: Willpower, The One Thing, and Upstream. Those are the 3 books. Check it out, research them, tell me which one you want to do. Every Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a full hour, totally free. In Brandon's words, he says, I don't know why more people don't go to book club, although we have had a lot lately. I'm very grateful, like 14 people. And there's a lot of awesome people in there. Brandon's words was, I don't know why more people don't go. It basically is free coaching.
Well, it makes sense, because sometimes coaching, sometimes coaching's a pain in the butt.
Fair.
So I understand. But vote for Upstream.
Super important.
Vote for Upstream. It's a great book.
Nice.
I'm not biased at all, but vote for Upstream. And yes, go to book club. It's free. It's free. Next Level books with Next Level people.
It'll change your life.
It'll change your life.
Your future will be brighter. I promise you that.
That is a fact. And you'll get to read. Right? Reading's great. Even though at one point I hated reading. I thought it was stupid. I don't think it's stupid. Shift. But so that was a bit of an identity shift for me. All right, cool. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Keep it next level. Next Level Nation.